Well, we are already actively working on preparing the necessary studies for our environmental permits. It's worth mentioning because perhaps not everyone knows that the Cowboy State Mine is going to be built on the state of Wyoming land.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Mel Sanderson. She is a non-executive director with American Rare Earths. And Mel, it's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous, Steve. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. And you're here with some very significant news for the company, bringing a non-binding letter of interest from the Export-Import Bank of the U.S. And this is for a sum that the company obviously is looking for in order to take really the project to the next level. So why don't I let you sort of talk to the investors a little bit about what's come up here?
Absolutely. It's a very gratifying moment for us. We have received what amounts to a real validation of our vision and our potential as a strategic resource to the U.S. The Export-Import Bank of the United States made a decision to provide us a non-binding letter of interest for $456 million. That amount represents, as you said, the entire currently envisioned cost of building the mine and the processing facility to get us to concentrate stage. So very, very exciting. Puts us in great company. There haven't been that many of these letters awarded, and three that I think are worth mentioning for purposes of information is ASM, Australian Strategic Materials, and also Perpetua and NEO received also LIs, but not to this level, not to this full amount.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about the Export-Import Bank of the United States because they're specifically looking at projects that can take and use what you're doing, the rare earths, in order to put into the United States. That's significant that they're involved in this.
Oh, 100%. They received a mandate, as did some other government elements like the Departments of Energy and Defense and Department of State. They received a mandate from both Congress and the White House to do whatever is necessary to try to build an infrastructure around clean energy and clean development in the United States. So the vision from Washington, of course, is essentially mines to magnets. And we obviously want to be a fundamental, pun intended, element in that strategy. And this endorsement from EXIM really sends a clear signal that we have indeed that potential.
Yeah, by the name Make More in America Initiative. So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about here. Mel, what does this mean now that you have the potential for this funding in place now? What will be the sort of the next stages of moving forward with this?
Well, we are already actively working on preparing the necessary studies for our environmental permits. It's worth mentioning because perhaps not everyone knows that the Cowboy State Mine is going to be built on the state of Wyoming land. The permitting process will be significantly quicker. And it is also very important that the state of Wyoming gave us a $7 million grant in matching funds to help us get through these preliminary steps as quickly and as correctly as possible.
Yeah. And lastly, Mel, you talked about the validation of what you've been talking about, but this really puts your company and really the project ahead of so many others and light speed ahead of where people want it to be. So this must be a very gratifying day for you and for the entire company to be able to now secure the financing in order to take the next step.
Oh, absolutely. We're very hopeful that the EXIM letter will serve as essentially a foundation against which private investors can feel confident to also invest in our project. That was the purpose of our recent reorganization. We wanted to position Wyoming Rare as a great investment opportunity on a project level, particularly for American investors. And we really think that this EXIM letter of support will open the gateway for that to take place.
Well, Mel, congratulations. Exciting times for the company, and we look forward to following the story as it continues to develop. So appreciate your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Steve. Great to talk with you.
All right, there's Mel Sanderson, non-executive director for American Rare Earths.